Okay, so now we're going to talk about some games that deal with mental health understanding.
Right.
Now, full disclosure, I haven't actually played all these games. I haven't played most of them, but I wanted to bring this to y'all's attention so that you all can look at these games in case you want to get a better understanding of something.
And if you don't want to play these games, then as Burke suggests, read Heart of Darkness.
Yes, or watch Apocalypse Now, because Marlon Brando is amazing in that movie.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Having said that, Heart of Darkness is awesome. Charles Marlowe for the win. Kurtz Weber.
Yeah.
I believe if I just got my books mixed up, somebody shoot me. But yes, watch those movies. Watch that movie. Watch Apocalypse Now. You should all watch Apocalypse Now.
All of you.
All of you. We'll wait for 4 hours. That movie is way
4
too long.
hours. Okay, so let's jump into these games that are said to dive into mental health issues.
Yes. So the first is a game called Florence, which deals with loss. They say it's a very beautiful story. Senua is a character that feels stuck, feeling most of us have had one time or the other. So
yeah.
Do not know much about this game, except it is, from the looks of it, we'll go ahead and kind of bring that down so it's not too loud.
Right.
But from the look of it, it has a very cutesy art style that is probably going to, come in and get you.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get you.
Yeah, it's going to get you. And we've seen games like this that look really cutesy and pretty, and the next thing you know, terrible things happen.
Yeah.
But the game itself is literally this. It's a series of little things that are happening with the character. You move around, you do things, and you're experiencing what she's experiencing. So if you have issues with loss, this might be a good game. Might be something for me to look at, because I still feel my dad every now and then.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one, Actual Sunlight, Depression. Now, I love the fact that these articles, Game Informer just kind of kills its thumbnails. This particular one I have heard of. I have heard of Actual Sunlight, and it is a game that is often really, really hard and gut punching.
Yeah.
I have not played it, but I have read up on it. I read up on this for this forum, and it looks like this one just is a gut punch for depression. Now, one thing that's important about depression is you can be depressed and not show any signs of sadness. In fact, most people who are depressed don't. They just feel a malaise. They show malaise. And you could technically be depressed and not even realize it.
Exactly.
Because, just like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to get up across the room and get myself another cup of coffee. So this is a good game to look at. Grieving is a very important thing. We all go through the grieving process. If you've lost anything from a pet to a loved one to a family member, a friend, you are going to go through grieving. And this game here, That Dragon Cancer, is very much about that. It is about losing someone to the big C. Just hashtag fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Seriously. And it is about those stages of grief. So this would be a good one to look into if you want to learn how to handle grieving in a game. Hidden Folks is anxiety and depression. This is also something that I have heard of, have not played it. And if you are suffering from anxiety, you will know that that's a feeling of being trapped.
Yes, it is.
When I used that little metaphor earlier of the little tiny creatures with sharp teeth biting at you chunk at a time, piece at a time, and just gnawing at you, that's actually pretty good.
That's a good representation of anxiety.
Yeah, it's something just gnaws at you. A Night in the Woods. I actually watched a playthrough of this. This deals with a bunch of issues, so I would highly recommend that one as well. I have not heard of this game before until I researched for this article.
Okay.
An Aspie Life. I might check it out because I have a member of my family who is on the spectrum.
That's right.
We sometimes suspect I might be, but I definitely have a brother who is full on all the way, and this might help me give me some understanding of him. So, Gris, dealing with loss and depression. That is a good one as well. And that's it.
That's it, yeah.
On this list, but I'm now going to talk about a game that you all have actually seen me play. This game actually is one of the few games I can't play because of what it does to me. And those of you who have been following with me for a while, you do all know, and if you don't, I don't mind talking about it. I actually was born with a dissociative disorder called depersonalization derealization. I'm on the derealization end. I always feel like I'm in a dream. I always feel like I'm disconnected from my body and the rest of the world. And I always have that kind of disassociated feeling. So this game right here actually triggered a fallen episode in me, and that's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. But the reason that I want to talk about this game is because this game nails a number of psychological issues.
Yeah.
Including, of course, schizophrenia, because the main character is schizophrenic. In fact, they turn it into one of her superpowers, which I felt was a nice way of doing it. You know, the voices both mess with her and hinder her, and in some cases help her.
But they help her too.
So the reason that I'm bringing this up is, one, this game is amazing. It is by far one of the best games I have ever played. It is $29.99. It goes on sale all the time. You all should get it. It's beautifully crafted, absolutely beautifully crafted. It deals with, I believe, the Pictish Viking mythology. She's going to hell, Hel. So on a very general gameplay level, it's really a good game. But it also is a deep dive into a number of mental health disorders.
Yeah.
Again, it is the only game. I cannot play this game because it triggered a fallen episode for me. However, I will not detract. This game is unbelievably amazing. So all of the games we just talked about, and I know I talked nonstop for about 5 minutes, so I'll turn it over to Teal in a second, are games that you should look at if you are interested in playing a game that gives you that perspective. And you can either play it because you want that perspective for your own self. Maybe you're struggling with something and you want something to relate to. Or you can do it so that as a developer, you can introduce it into your own game. Again, elegantly and with respect. Anything on your end?
You have summed up just about everything that I could possibly say on this subject, and I think that's awesome because we are in alignment on the game treatment of mental health issues, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, Chaos, we do have a Steel and Teal approved game. That's Hellblade. But, you know, as Steel said, check out the other games too. And think about, as you're developing, think about, is there any part of your story that touches upon any of these issues? And think about, well, go ahead and include it. Yeah. Don't shy away from it. Embrace it. And how can you incorporate that into your narrative?